Good day, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful beginning of the weekend. It is Saturday, so I guess this is the weekend edition of my daily rant. Maybe I should call it the daily rant. I'm not always ranting, but okay, so essentially, I do unscripted shows, so anything that the chat wants to talk about, that is the subject of the day. And until the chat decides on what to talk about, because some days my show is still growing, so some days nobody shows up. Not because the few daily people that I talk to in the chat are not always available, but just because. Okay. But what we can do in the meantime, let me see here. I thought I had another one. Apparently, I do not. So, bear with me here just a little bit. Okay. Ooh, I do have a cat, and he's looking inside, and yeah. This is why I'm looking for a collaborator to do anime talk show co-host, because my cats. Well, sorry about that, but the cat wants to come in, the cat wants to come out. The cats don't really know what they want to do. So, okay, once more, I will reiterate that I am looking for a co host to talk and debate and exchange ideas about just about everything worldly and also the main subjects that I kind of like and talk about, such as sci fi, fantasy, anime, gaming, reviewing and reacting to trailers, movies, series that falls into these categories. And yeah, I would like to find a co-host. I'm pretty sure out there has to be somebody, yourself or somebody you know, that would like to have a part-time YouTube career. Now, a lot of people are like saying, you shouldn't vape. Yeah, well, if I had the budget, I would have a saloon with big leather chairs, and the other cat wants to come in. So. I am gonna have to show some tough love to my cats, because they do this to me every single day. They want to go from the front of the house to the back of the house, but going through the house, which forces me to open the screen doors and let them in and out constantly. I mean, I really love my cats, but really, if you're out, be out for a couple of hours and stay where you are. Why can't cats do that? Let me tell you why. Because I spoiled my babies. Yes. Now they've gotten into the habit of doing whatever they want. They just do it to have daddy's attention. Maui fires, the cover-up story, the perfect crime. Okay, I don't know what's going on there. So, yeah, Ahsoka came out this week, and later on today I will try to do a little montage to show why I like Ahsoka so much. Be sure to watch that video. As for everything else, the series, the live action series of Ahsoka, I really, really was not happy with what I saw. I see what they're trying to do, but it's beyond amateurish. I mean, I could do the exact same thing, probably better, and having more dialogue, it's like people have been complaining that the script doesn't exist, the text, the story line doesn't exist. So instead of just pretending to make one, they've gone the opposite route and just like, okay, well, we will see her walking. We will see her walking some more. She will look into this direction, not saying anything, not having any emotions. So, actors not having any emotions, you'll see why when I do this little montage. That Ahsoka used to be, I think, one of the most emotional Jedis, and it's a good thing that she left the Jedi Order. Now, on to some other things. I watched the Foundation weekly episode yesterday. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Another cliffhanger. I'm loving this show. It is really well done. Talk about a good show that's well done. And every week, the story moves along, creates more intrigue as the time moves forward. And I'm passionate about the Foundation. Never in a gazillion worlds, a gazillion years, I would have thought that I would have loved it this much, but I really do, folks. I really, really do. Okay. Oh, wow. Sometimes one thing and sometimes another thing. This show completely took me by surprise, and I am amazed how much I am loving it. It's really one of the best shows on television currently. And it's sad to see that this show is not getting the recognition it deserves. Because it's not a big title like Star Wars and Star Trek and these other big sci fi shows. Even The Expanse was kind of unknown in the first season, but by the third season, so many fans had gotten into the show. So I guess it's all about of mouth, and I am just trying to. Yeah, it's the best sci fi in a long time. And I saw that season 2 of Invasion came out. I did watch the episode. I wish there would have been a recap at the beginning. Just because I understood the episode and what was happening in the episode. It's just that the people that I'm seeing on screen, I don't remember them. I don't rem I do remember watching the first episode of season 1. Unfortunately, I don't remember if I got to see it all. Did I watch the entire season or not? So if they would have done a recap quickly, I could have determined if I actually saw it or if I was missing stuff and then go back and rewatch the first season if need be before starting season 2. That's my only gripe. But I am really liking what I saw of that first episode of season 2. So I don't know if they had more budget, if they're able to push the storyline. Babylon 5 first season was an attempt at doing something great, but it was far from being perfect, but throughout time it became absolute golden. And maybe Invasion is that way, where the first season is really crappy, the sets are crappy, the budget was crappy, but they're trying to make something much, much better. And I really like the way that season 2 got the story together and the special effects. And so I'm very intrigued to see. It's not on the same level at all as Foundation, but still a very great watch. Okay. What else? What else? What else? I did watch something else. I forget now what it was. That's how good it was. Probably very good. But I see so many things in the week, and like I said, this is not a scripted show. So bear with me that there might be unforgivable long pauses while I try to think about stuff. My neck is killing me. So I don't know if you guys have been watching my regular videos. So, they're getting a lot of views, but obviously I need to change the intro. So don't be afraid to comment because I'm always there. Hello, how's it going? And all that stuff. And a lot of people disconnect while I am doing the intro and not waiting for the juicy parts. And then you have people that are like, well, you need to flip the image every 10 seconds. So I need to go to a camera like this and go back to another camera every 10 seconds. I'm not sure I want to go that route. It's a lot of clicking, and to be honest, I can't remember my phrases. I can't remember my thought and where I was going with what I was trying to say. But I do need to rethink and get more into the subject right off the bat in my movies. So, is it good? Is it not good? Let's get into it right off the bat and not ask you folks how it's going. Maybe some people would like it, some people like the way it is. Like, I'm authentic, I am addressing you, the viewer, so pardon me if I am saying, hello, the viewer, hope you're having a great day, but then that's when people disconnect. Because they don't want to talk about their feelings, and that's okay too. So I have a kitty cat here who's looking for attention. Not that he wants attention, he just wants what he wants, and I'm not giving it to him. So he's like, okay, daddy, I'm going to sit here in front of you until you give me what I want, which is open the door so that I can go and do stuff. Okay, you gotta stop being a pain here. He is really being a pain. But I love him, and he's going to be part of the. I think I'm going to call it the Ricky Daily Talking Cat. And although he does not talk like a human being, he meows so much, and he really is like a kid. He will go on until he has no voice, hoping that he will finally convince me to give him whatever it is that he wants, which is usually just wanting attention. But we'll see how that goes. I haven't really followed Canadian politics this week in Canada. Not sure what's going on. Not sure I want to know what's going on. The government is pretty much on summer break, and it will reconvene whenever our Prime Minister deems so appropriate. Then, in some other news that is Canadian related, everybody knows about Jordan Peterson and how he is having to go to social media rehabilitation. I mean, Canadian governments just are inventing crap. Why are we giving so much money to our government to do these crazy things? Free speech is gone. From Canada under this dictatorship. Kind of feels like a dictatorship, and we are just paying more and more and more money for the government to control every single aspect of our lives. It's getting to the point where they are trying to micromanage us, and it's, well, been obviously in our face since the pandemic. In other news, apparently Nvidia doesn't really care about the gaming industry anymore, the PC gaming. So hopefully AMD will pick up the slack, but it's not looking good. They've gotten used to people paying outrageous prices for video cards, and they have no intention of bringing it back down because they are still able to sell all their inventories. So for the everyday consumer that is not into crypto, that is not into AI, getting a good graphics card is getting harder and harder at an affordable price. Kind of sad. I feel that Canada is also in the same boat as the Americans, where, okay, well, we are not liking what Biden is doing. The alternative being perhaps Trump might not be, we don't want to go the Trump route again, but not that I would ever trust politicians, but it's like 1%. And that 1% is a major factor. I prefer Trump by 1% much more than I do Biden. And for that reason, I'm going to get behind one or the other. pretty much same thing here in Canada. One of our rising politicians, Pierre Poilievre, is rising in popularity. Conservatives are ahead of the Liberals. And he has a polar opposite view of Trudeau, which is our prime minister. And that is not the route that I want to go. He has a similar message to like make Canada great again, but his catchphrase is bring it home. So basically every money that you earn, you bring it home instead of giving it to the government. But the government still needs to, provide a social net, a justice system that functions. So if we are no longer funding the pensioners at a much lower ratio than we are funding our prisons, if you are over the age of 75 in Canada, and you're living in a pension home, wow, you get maybe one bath a week, whereas prisoners have daily showers, daily 3 meals a day, warm, hot meals. And let's just say that the food for the old folks, not so good. So we will see, we will see, we will see. I'm looking forward to the elections because both in the States and in Canada, things need to change. I was actually surprised yesterday by one of Jordan Peterson's comments where he said, doom and gloom. We are ahead. I have this feeling, and I'm not looking at the news, but I do know that there is a major big war going on between Russia and Ukraine and the proxies involved in that. I am aware that inflation is driving the cost of everything beyond belief. I see more and more people ending up in the streets, being homeless, turning to substance abuse, unfortunately. And yet, I have a feeling that we need to unite because something evil is coming around the corner, and as a human race, we need to band together and to start compromising and putting aside our wants and desires and just have everybody's basic needs, determine what basic needs we need provided, because there's poverty and everything else. And I see it getting worse before it gets better. There might not be a possibility that it gets better. It could be, a world-changing event for the human race where 2/3 of the population disappears. And then I saw Jordan Peterson, Dr. Jordan Peterson, state yesterday that it's only the main media that is promoting this message. In the sense that now that we have all these alternate media available to everybody, not as many people are watching the main media that have big money and all this. And it used to be that big media used to approach every subject with an impartial view. They would try to report the news as impartial as possible. And now that they are losing viewership, they are going to extremes and sensationalism to try to have you click and watch whatever they are promoting. So obviously they are promoting the doom and gloom message because it what gets people to click on their thumbnails. I don't think that we need to pay much attention to that. I mean, I've noticed it like 20 years ago, the Weather Channel asked me to be part of a discussion group about the direction that the Weather Channel was going. And, it's like back then they were saying, okay, well, there's a flooding in an island somewhere on the planet. It's proof that it's global warming, the end is near. We're about to get a major earthquake that will split the continent in two and push every research hypothesis. It is not a fact, it is a hypothesis that maybe this is a possibility that this could happen. Wow. So, talk about sensationalism. And they were getting more radical, and they would not. We had a discussion group, and half of us wanted just stick to the facts, stick to the weather, talk about what will affect us, and stop being the end game scenario each and every time. And they decided not to listen and to just go their route because it was getting more clicks on their website. And it's gotten to the point today where if I go to the Weather Channel, I have to click 3 or 4 or 5 things before I can get my local weather. I don't want to know about the floodings in this island in the south and rainstorms here and ice storms and snowstorms and every time it's like, oh, see, that's proof. That's proof that the end is coming. That's proof that the end is coming. It's raining somewhere on the planet. It definitely means it's the end. So I'm just a little bit tired of all of that. It's just too much. And that's just my opinion. Okay, kitty cat, you need to. There you go. Move a bit out of the way. Silly cat. You guys are pains in the butt. Yeah, well, when you're out, you're out. So enjoy it. When I am doing a video, you guys are pretty much stuck inside. But I've, rambled enough here and ranted enough about this and that for today. Hopefully, somebody will start joining me in the chat while I do these. I understand it's the weekend, not everybody's interested in getting up early because we had so much fun dancing last night, but hope you enjoyed the show. I know I didn't, I was all over the place and jumping from one subject to the other. But, I'll go and do some little kitty cat short videos that thousands and thousands of people like watching. Because life is not easy for nobody. We go out, we work, we try to sustain our life, we try to put food on the table, we try to keep the roof above our head. Everyday working man needs to, get away from it all. Not everybody wants to think about the state of the world. Everybody wants to think about the state of their lives, and we are constantly in this survival mode, and we just need entertainment to disconnect, to make our lives worth living. So I agree with that. But I still like talking to people, exchanging, talking about anything, everything, debating ideas. Sometimes I just like to relax, so maybe I should do an evening show instead of a noon show. But there's people throughout every time zone, so even though for me this is the noon show, somewhere it's the morning show, and some elsewhere it's the evening night show. So anyways, as always, I wish you all to be safe, and hopefully I'll have some returning viewers in the next video, or the next podcast, or the next chatting session. And see you. Keep watching my videos. Always appreciate it. Thank you, the viewers. Thank you, the subscribers. And I'll see you shortly.